Okay guys, I couldn't be in class today, and so I want to give you an introduction into what we're going to be doing today. So first, a review of the learning objectives. Yesterday in class during the lab, we established the relationship between angle of impact and blood drop shape. So basically, depending at which the angle that the blood drop hits the ground, whether it's straight down at 90 degrees or at an angle at 45 degrees, that's going to change the shape of the blood drop. And today's new learning objective is that we're going to draw the point of convergence, or the POC, of blood spatter. So this word convergence means where things meet. So basically, we're going to draw some lines for the blood drop to figure out where they came from. So your bell ringer is a review of the lab, and it's asking you, how does the angle of impact change the shape of the blood drop? We learned that in lab yesterday. If you were not here yesterday, you need to do that lab, because that's going to help you understand what's going on. I'm going to touch on the lecture notes, and then you've got two assignments for today. So the first is area of convergence. That looks like this. Okay. And then the second is blood spatter analysis, and that's a packet. We're going to do just the first half of the packet. Okay, and so that's this. We'll do both those today. Okay, so first to the lecture notes. Okay, I'm starting here on slide 30. And this is just a review from yesterday. So yesterday, we learned that depending on the angle at which the blood drop falls, so if it falls straight down at a 90-degree angle, then that shape of the blood drop is going to be a nice circle. And then as you can see, this angle changes all the way, here to a 40-degree angle. Okay, much smaller, much more acute angle, that the shape of the blood drop then when it hits the ground is going to be elongated. It's going to have this teardrop shape. All the way, down to this really long blood drop, which comes at this really sharp angle. So here's would be 90 degrees straight down. And then if your surface is at an angle now, as the blood travels down, you can see it's going to cover more distance and give you that elongated shape. So this is basically what the blood drops looked like yesterday. Here you can see, right, our 90-degree blood stain is going to be circular, and any time we have this teardrop shape, it's because it was less than 90 degrees. The second piece of information we reviewed from yesterday is that first drop that hits we call the parent blood stain, and it's going to have this tail, and the tail always points in the direction the blood was traveling. So that's going to be really important. We need to understand that. So we're going to use that information to draw what we call the point of convergence. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line through the blood drop, and when you draw that line through the blood drop, in the direction it travels, it's going to lead back to the point of convergence, the POC. This is the area where the blood came from. Okay? And so in this first activity, the area of convergence, you're going to be asked to do that. So you have a scenario. You need to read through the scenario. Okay, as always, that's going to give you a lot of context. Then you've got the procedures. Again, read the procedures. Okay, it's going to tell you exactly what to do. And here you can see in the example, we're going to draw a line through this blood drop and through the next blood drop. Okay, and we're going to see here where those two lines cross, that's the point of convergence. So that's where those blood drops came from. Once we draw those lines, we have some scenarios. So down here in these scenarios, we're basically connecting this scenario to the different blood drops. Okay? So I've done the first one for you. Basically, I used a ruler, so you need to grab a ruler. And you're going to look at the blood and the tail, okay, of the blood drop, and you're going to draw a line through that blood drop. So remember, the tail is pointing in the direction the blood traveled, so it came from this direction over here. Okay, you're going to do that with all three blood drops. The tail is pointing towards the direction it was traveling towards, so it came from the opposite direction. Okay, when you draw all three lines, then the area where those three lines meet, you're going to draw a circle around them. We call that the point of convergence. So in this scenario, okay, we can actually see in sample A, there were two different points of convergence. Okay, there's one here, and if we were to draw the 3 converging lines, okay, from these blood drops, we'd see there'd be another point of convergence here. And that tells us basically there were 2 things going on here. Maybe there were 2 drops from a knife, right? Or maybe there were 2 people. But basically, this tells us there were 2 incidents that caused 2 actions that caused this blood spatter. Okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to draw the points of convergence for all of these scenarios. Okay? Notice the shape. Here you have a circular shape. So that means the blood came straight down. Okay? Landed basically straight down. So you can't draw a point of convergence there. But here, these ones, these did come from an angle. Okay? So this is going to tell you a story about what happened in that scenario. Okay? Then here on this page, you're going to need to use that evidence to match it to the scenario. And then you've got a couple questions here. Okay? The question asks you in each sample, how many individuals are involved? Is there more than one? And what direction was their movement? Okay? Was it straight down? Was it in one direction? Okay? That's what this first activity is going to ask you to do. That's the area of convergence. Then the second packet is blood spatter analysis. Okay? We're just going to do the first part of this today. And so if you open this up to the inside page, again, it's showing us in 2 dimensions what we call the point of convergence, right? This is what we just learned. And it's going to give you some different samples here. And with these samples, you're going to draw the points of convergence. Okay, so I think there's 3 different scenarios there. Okay, that is your homework, is to finish all of those points of convergence. And then we'll take it to the next step tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can email me, cfreeberg@scsd.us. That's going to be the best way to get a hold of me. And my email is above the whiteboard. All right, guys. Good luck. Have fun.